Hello there, welcome along to LFC TV's Premier League review show here on YouTube. Now, if you're enjoying the content, do please make sure to subscribe for even more of us. And it was a big performance, wasn't it, from Darwin Nuñez in front of what was actually the second biggest Anfield crowd in history on Saturday. He really impressed you, didn't he, Neil? Lots more to come on Darwin very shortly, but overall on the game, it was exactly what was needed, wasn't it, really? A solid performance and 3 more points in the bag.
Yeah, it was a historical occasion because it was the biggest ever league attendance at Anfield, surpassing the one in 1949, 58,000. So we got just under 60,000 for this one. I think it was a game where it was a good response to get the 3 points. First half, perhaps not quite at the levels, but certainly took control of the game second half and ran out comfortable winners in the end.
We did indeed. Before we get into the action, let's show you some stats. And the team lineup, first of all, obviously we knew there were going to be changes with Ibu Konate's suspension. That meant a first Premier League start, actually, since Boxing Day for Jarell Quansah alongside Virgil van Dijk. And Wataru Endo, no rest for him, straight back in after his exploits with Japan at the Asia Cup.
Yeah, it was 5 changes from that game against Arsenal last time out in the Premier League. A little bit of a sickness bug was in the camp. Maybe a little bit of a surprise to see Kelleher between the sticks, but he started. Quansah, another one of those changes. Andy Robertson, first start since October for Liverpool, so there were 3 of the 5 changes. Endo being the other one. And the one for me, which was the big one, was Darwin Nuñez. We are going to get to him. Magnificent display.
We certainly are. Lots more on Darwin coming up later on in the show. Firstly, though, some stats, the attacking stats we will start with. And I think that you can say these are mostly what you would expect. The interesting one here, I think, Burnley, 4 big chances. That's compared with Liverpool's 5. And they had more entries into the final third than Liverpool as well. 60 against 53. I think that's quite surprising looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, it was only the second time we've had 3 different players score a header in the same Premier League game. The last time that was Boxing Day 2003 against Bolton. I was on loan at West Ham at the time. Hippier, yeah, you'd expect that one. Cinema upon goal, and Vladis Smicer. Maybe you wouldn't have predicted 2 of those. But yeah, the stats there show that Burnley had moments. Burnley had good moments that they didn't take, which ended up being costly, of course, with Liverpool taking those chances. But XG for us, close to 3, was really good.
Yeah, it was. Let's take a look at the defence and distribution stats, see what these tell us. At Liverpool, as you would expect, obviously dominating passing and possession as well. Of note here, I think the aerial duels. You can tell Vincent Kompany's changed Burnley's style when they only won 36% of those.
Yeah, gone are the days when that was what Burnley was about. A different sort of look about Burnley. Like to get the ball on the floor a lot more. But yeah, Liverpool dominating duels, aerial duels. Distance cover slightly shaded by Burnley, but sprints, Liverpool way ahead of Burnley. And no surprise with possession, Liverpool 70% of the ball. OK,
let's get into the goals. And obviously Liverpool do not fail to win many home games, but there is a stat developing here which will give you comfort, I think, whenever we do take the lead. Liverpool have now won 30 games in a row after scoring the first goal at Anfield. 33 is the record. That is jointly held between Manchester United and Arsenal. And no one's surprised, I don't think, to see Diogo Jota on the score sheet. His 5th goal of this calendar year so far.
Yeah, I think if you look at all the stats around our home form, Anfield is a fortress. It's a very difficult place to come to, and Burnley found that at the weekend. A couple of moments they didn't take in the first half, but then we took control of the game, and the opening goal ended up coming from a set piece. But what I like about the goal is the way that we're high up the pitch. Endo making his first start since New Year's Day. Look at, he wins that second ball to keep that pressure on. He knows where the space is. Trent Alexander-Arnold out on that right hand side, so it's a guided header into the space for Trent, then to deliver the cross. We've got players in the box. The front 3 are all in there. Curtis Jones is in there from midfield as well, trying to get on the end of it. So it goes out for a corner in the end. Here's the marking. There you go. There's the marking from Burnley. Virgil van Dijk is spare at this point, but they recognise the threat. They are scared stiff of giving Virgil van Dijk any kind of space inside the penalty area. So when we move it on, you can see all of a sudden there's no way Virgil's going to get a header. They are absolutely all over him, panicking. But then that just frees up that little bit of movement, little bit of space for Jota to say, OK, you take hold of one of our men in Virgil, I'll make the run. I don't think he can believe his luck. He cannot believe his luck that the goalkeeper has had such an absolute shocker here. Now, I was thinking, a lot of teams for set pieces, they all have their own ways of doing things. We don't put too many players into the 6-yard box on this occasion. It's the goalkeepers. He's got absolutely no excuse to be mistiming it the way he does. He's got a completely free run at it. He makes a mess of it. A couple of good angles to show you in terms of how he makes a mess of it. The ball's gone in there towards the back post. He's actually under pressure from his own man. That's his centre-half, O'Shea, who's just challenging Nunez there. So he barges into his own man. He's at full stretch to try and claim the catch. But I think you have to give Jota credit because he's thinking, the goalie's going to miss this and I'm going to get a free header. And that's exactly what he does at the far post. So the cross comes in there, goalkeeper makes a mess of it, but Jota concentrates and thinks, I'm going to get the header, rather than thinking, maybe reacting from the goalkeeper there. Really good centre-forward play from Jota for that opening goal. Delivery from Trent, another assist for Trent Alexander-Arnold out from that right wing position. There you go again. You can see the centre half. He's actually elbowed his own goalkeeper. So I think the goalkeeper was thinking, I've been fouled, and we know how goalkeepers get protected. His own defenders actually caught him on the face with his arm. So absolutely no way VAR were going to disallow that one.
Yeah, unlucky with that one, wasn't he? 9 of Diogo Jota's, this is quite incredible actually, 40 Premier League goals for Liverpool have been headers. When you consider he's 5'10", and Harry Kane and Erling Haaland just ahead of him. Haaland's what, 6'4", Harry Kane 6'2". He's doing pretty well to be in that top three.
Well, I'd have been guessing with those heights, but yeah, they're taller. I'd have said they're both taller. Yeah, I mean, he does really well. He does really well, doesn't he? The way that he finds space to be able to connect and get so many headers. Yeah, and another example of that at the weekend against Burnley.
Now, Burnley did threaten to spoil the atmosphere, you could say, with an equaliser. That was just a minute before the break as well. Crucial time to score. And this was a great header, really, from Darwin Nuñez, you've got to say. Yeah,
right at the stroke of half-time. Like you say, we're thinking we're going in at 1-0. But they score from a set-piece, like we did ourselves. I think what you're thinking is, how's he got a free header? You know, centre-half there. What sort of pressure is he under? I think it's a great header into the corner, this is a good angle to show you just how he guides it right into the top corner. There's no way Kelleher can save that. Again, we don't put anyone on the post. You could argue maybe if you had someone on the post, maybe somebody could have cleared that, but we don't. Now, I'm looking at the setup there, and you know, there's a couple of players that are. You can see Virgil van Dijk is zonal rather than man for man, but Endo's trying to get towards the goal scorer. He's sort of been blocked off a little bit. That's what I feel as though he's trying to do. He recognises the centre-half's going to be a threat. He wriggles away. Now, when you look at it here, you're thinking, well, between Diaz and Endo, one of them's going to be able to challenge O'Shea, but we don't. We don't challenge O'Shea. And in the end, sort of Diaz and Endo get in each other's way and don't really do enough to challenge O'Shea. And it's a decent header, it really is. You have to say that was a decent header from O'Shea for the equalising goal. And I mean, it was a huge momentum turner right on the stroke of half-time. Would have given Burnley a huge lift, thinking they could get something from the game.
Yeah, and crucial after that, wasn't it, to come out and start the second half brightly, and that is exactly what Liverpool did. Not long before they restored their lead, Luis Diaz, wasn't it, nipping in at the near post. This is a poacher's goal, maybe one you would have been quite proud of back in the day.
A nice line, yeah. Yeah, but it was a good start to the second half. Like you say, frustration could have grown had it stayed at 1-0 for a while. Brilliant from Nunez there, and we'll get to Darwin Nuñez. His work rates, starting from the front. Some referees might have given a foul. We know what referees can be like, a little bit whistle happy at times, but he's putting the goalkeeper under pressure. I don't think there's a foul. There's not a foul there. The goalie goes down, asking the question. No foul there. Good pressing from Harvey Elliott, half-time substitute. He's pressing high. Full right back for the second half. Curtis Jones picks that second ball up. And then we're in and around that penalty area for Burnley. We're going to get to the free kick shortly, which Burnley wanted. But there's Diaz making that run from the left-hand side towards the near post. And he gets a little bit of luck, but tidies it away nicely with the finish. So here we go. This angle shows it quite well. Good pressure from Darwin Nuñez on the goalkeeper. Again from Harvey Elliott. There's our setup now. There's your back four. You've got Andy Robertson left back, 2 centre-halves, and Curtis in that right back position, just sort of getting forward to say, OK, well, I'm going to intercept it if you are going to try and get it towards the attacking players. So good positional play from Liverpool there. Curtis does intercept it there and then drives towards the edge of the penalty area. Now, you've got 2 defensive midfield players. You've got McAllister and you've got Endo thinking, OK, well, if Burnley do counter-attack, they're in that position. Look at our full-backs. Curtis is now in the penalty area. Andy Robertson, again, is supporting nicely high up from that left-hand side. But they don't counter-attack Burnley because of Endo's tackle. The space for Harvey Elliott, look at the space that Harvey Elliott's been left. That's because the left-back has been attracted from the run from Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones, from right full-back, has taken the left-back there. So that's given the space for Harvey Elliott. He can't believe his luck. Look at the space he's got inside the penalty area there. He's got time and then produces that little bit of quality to get the cross in for Diaz to score. So you can see in the build-up there, goalkeeper wants a free kick, no chance of you getting that. Good pressure, real high pressure, start of the second half, wanting to get this second goal. Now there's a few things to look out for when we're going to stop it here. So first of all, Burnley are adamant that it's a free kick. The touch from Ramsey just gets there ahead of McAllister. What's the referee? What's he, 2 yards away? He's got a great view. He has got a great view of this incident. At no point does he go to blow his whistle. He's not interested in a free kick. Now, if we just move it on a little bit more, there's two Burnley players that are saying they're appealing for a free kick. They think they should have a free kick. The lad who's being fouled, Ramsey, or kicked, he's thinking he can get on the counter-attack. There's two Burnley players thinking, we can get a counter-attack here against Liverpool, but it's brilliant from Endo. Endo stops that counter-attack, so a really good tackle in that position, and that's what gets Harvey Elliott into that position. Could he have played it first time towards that run for Nunez? Maybe he could have done, but he elected to take that touch, takes the touch, and he's looking. I think he's trying to play a little nutmegs between the defender, but it's a great run then from Luis Diaz towards that near post. Gets ahead of the defender really well, doesn't he? And manages just to react. I think that's what you have to say about this finish. It's sort of a reactive finish because it does take a deflection. There you go. McAllister actually goes down rather than the Burnley player. So the cross comes in from Harvey Elliott, slight deflection. Diaz on the near post. This is probably the best angle to show you. I think, you might agree, I think VAR would certainly have maybe looked at this. I think if the Burnley players goes down, I think the goal probably might get disallowed. But because it's McAllister going down rather than Ramsey, the goal isn't disallowed. And I think that's what there's a lot of frustration from Burnley for. I know Vincent Kompany got booked from it. Here we go. Here's the position of Diaz, just getting there ahead, reacting. I think he taps it in with his feet, but for that deflection from Harvey Elliott. Opt to have a word with yourselves because that is an assist for Harvey Elliott. How are you taking an assist from Harvey Elliott? So yeah, really good reaction. What I don't like, and if you're inside Anfield as well, is 2 minutes 15 seconds on VAR to try and find a reason to disallow a goal. That is not good for the game.
Yeah, well, thankfully it did stand. Luis Diaz with the third headed goal of the day, and then the fourth comes via Darwin Nuñez. This one, though, very different to the previous three, wasn't it? A lovely ball in from half-time sub, Harvey Elliott, and talk us through the technique here is crucial from Darwin Nuñez.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant finish. It really is, because at 2-1, Burnley is still in the game. You're thinking we need that third goal just to put the game beyond them. And it comes again, it's a set piece. See the movement of Darwin Nuñez, he's hovering about, he's in between the sticks. The ball's almost behind him. He has to generate the power himself with his neck muscles. A brilliant header. So there's the setup. A lot of players, it's really congested in that central area. Burnley have got a lot of defensive players there. We've got three players all thinking we can pick that second ball up, have a shot, or we can recycle the ball back into the penalty area. It's Jota who ends up picking that second ball up. He then manages to find Harvey Elliott out here on the right-hand side. And it's a great ball. Really good ball, isn't it, from Harvey Elliott for the assist in that position. The movement's good from Harvey Elliott as well. Now, you've got McAllister on the edge of the box saying, set me, because if the ball's rolled to him, he could hit it first time. Harvey Elliott makes a very intelligent run just behind Jota there, because he sees that's where the space is. Jota gets the shot away, ends up maybe being a little bit lucky the way it comes back to him. Now he's got space. Now Harvey Elliott's got space to do what he does well, and produce a lovely little ball towards the far post. A little dink, but he's got to generate the power himself there, Nunez. He's under pressure from the defender. Really, really good header. Questions were asked, is this a penalty? There is no way that's a penalty. I think that's an honest challenge. It hits his chest rather than his hands. We wouldn't have got a penalty for that one. But yeah, the finish as the ball comes here, I think most people would think he might head it back from where the ball's come from. Maybe that's a little bit easier, but no, he recognises the spaces where the goalkeeper's going across to, and it really is a great finish. That is a really top draw header to take the ball away from the goalkeeper into the corner, so he's absolutely nowhere near saving that one. So yeah, well done Harvey Elliott with the cross, and a really, really good header from Darwin Nuñez to score. One last angle to show you. Here we go. Jota's involved, as we said. Harvey Elliott with the assist. I mean, it's a centre mid that's marking him, but he still manages to wriggle away from the challenge of Sander Berg to head home. So there you go, 3-1. Pretty much put the game beyond Burnley at that point.
Yeah, we promised you more Darwin Nuñez, so let's take it a little bit deeper in on him now, because I think we could do the whole show on how impressed you were with him on Saturday. 5 shots in total for Darwin, but it's fair to say it would have been even more, wouldn't it, had he been played in on some other occasions where he made really good runs.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably the best I've seen from Darwin Nuñez. I thought he was absolutely superb at the weekend. He gets one goal. He could have had a hat-trick. I think his movement is so hard to defend against. Here we go. We've got examples of how the movement is asking the question of that Burnley defence. Jota's got time on the ball. I mean, if you play that ball in behind, Nunez has got the beating of the defence with the pace. He elects not to play that ball, but Nunez is looking. He's saying, play that ball in. Doesn't come. A little bit of frustration from Nunez there. But he's looking, always looking to get in behind that defence. Here again, it's a quick counter for Liverpool. If Diaz plays the ball into the space there, look at the run, look at the movement from Nunez. He's in. He's in on goal. Yes, the defender might come across, but I think he's got the beating of him. The ball's a little bit behind him. Nothing comes from it. So a little bit more frustration for Nunez, but the movement's outstanding. Here again, another example of how good his movement is. Looking in behind. He's always facing the goal. So the ball there for Jota is trying to play the ball. He does see it this time. I thought that was good goalkeeping. Very quickly off his line to stop Nunez getting that opportunity. Here again, second half. Diaz does great. Can you play him in? Look at that. He's onside, miles onside. 1v1 if he plays him in. Turns it down. And in the end, Burnley gets players back. Goes to Jota. It's actually a really good save, wasn't it, from Trafford? But I think Nunez could have been played in for what would have been a chance. So they were the movements. Here again, this was first half. Nearly gets on the end of this ball. So Andy Robertson does see him, tries to find him. He's onside. Very nearly gets there, doesn't he, on the stretch for that one. But a constant threat, a constant pest, trying to get on the end of things, trying to score goals. Here again, beats the defender. Defender has to make a block, this time from an effort at the near post. Second half, Robertson with a little bit of space, delivers the ball. It would have been tight for offside, it really would have been. The flag did go up. I'm sure they've been drawing lines, decent save, but he's making that run again towards the near post. He'll always be a threat in the air. Doesn't quite direct his head on that occasion. And the big chance he has is late on in stoppage time. It's 3-1 at this point. Endo plays the ball in behind. Movement again. Look how he's looking to get in behind that Burnley defence. Super first touch. Sets himself perfectly. Maybe a little bit tired. And in the end, it's a save from the goalkeeper. But that was a big chance, wasn't it? But the movement's outstanding, it really is. There you go, there's the position. Elects to go with his toe rather than maybe just passing it into the corner of the goal. Constant threat. I mean, look at all the chances he's been involved with there.
Yeah, let's show you his stats actually, which again underline what you're saying about him being such a threat all the time. You can see here he's first for sprints and touches as well there in the opposition box out of all the Liverpool players, which again shows just what a handful he is for defenders.
Yeah, and the stat that stands out more than any other is sprints. Nunez's 37 sprints was the most in a Premier League game by a Liverpool player this season. The second most was actually Jota, which is 31, which again was on Saturday. So it's showing the difference that those sprints can make. But yeah, shots, second in terms of shots, 5. Chances created, distance covered, 4th. You would expect midfielders to have the most distance covered. So a top performance from Nunez.
Yeah, let's speak about his work rate actually, because obviously he got the full 90 minutes under his belt, and his work rate, as we say, is just phenomenal. Just talk us through this.
It really caught the eye for me. It really did. And I don't think we see this a lot in the Premier League. Centre forwards really putting a shift in. I mean, look at this. A lot would think, man, I'm not really going to make much of it. He puts the goalkeeper under pressure and they just kick the ball long. That's a fighting ball. We're obviously going to win that one. That's Darwin Nuñez getting back at right fullback to help his defence from a potential Burnley counter-attack. Willing to get back defensively. I mean, that's absolutely magnificent to see. It really is. Wanting to make a bad ball into a good ball. He is not favourite to win anything here. Defender's got the ball, he doesn't foul him, he ends up winning the ball, wins a throw-in right by the corner flag. Absolute desire, determination to want to win the ball. It's brilliant to see. This one again, never favourite to get there. Defender's got there, got it under control, wins the ball with a fair challenge. I have to say, brilliant defending in the end from the Burnley defender to recover and make that challenge. Here again, he just doesn't give anything up. Between the goalkeeper and the defender, you think they've got it sorted out. He nearly nicks the ball ahead of the goalkeeper there, but constantly wanting to work hard. And if you keep working hard, you're going to get moments. Here again, the pace. I think the defender gets a little bit fortunate here. Just sort of clips him. Yeah, you expect to see him give it. But he's looking for that mistake from the defender. He ends up getting a yellow card for that because he kicks the ball against the advertising boarding. it was a top performance, but the shift he put in was brilliant to watch.
Yeah, well, nothing underlines that more than his touch map, which we can show you now. And he started, as we showed you at the top of the show, in the middle of the front three. But here, you can see he's literally everywhere. How do you handle that as a defender?
You can't. Absolutely. Left, he's right. What I like about the touch map is, as any attacking player, you want to touch the ball in areas that are going to hurt the opposition. Look at all the touches in and around that penalty, but more so in. Well over double figures for touches inside the penalty area, and that's why, with the clips you've seen there, he was such a threat.
OK, let's take a look at the Premier League table, and it's as you were really at the top, isn't it? Manchester City, of course, have that game in hand, which will be played next week against Brentford, which coincidentally are Liverpool's next opponents this weekend.
Yeah, Everton did us no favours, West Ham did us no favours. That was a big result from Arsenal, wasn't it? Late winner for Spurs, but Liverpool, top of the league. It was sung at the weekend. I hope we continue to sing it.
I hope we do indeed. That is it from us for this week. It's been a busy show, hasn't it? And it's everyone's favourite kick-off time next Saturday. That away game at Brentford is a 12:30 start. We will be back analysing that one at the same time next week. We'll see you then. Goodbye for now.